What's good, YouTube? This is Mr. Purple Zero back with another video. I got a question, and before we even get into the video, before we even get further into it, before we discuss anything, we debate anything, I want answers now. I want answers in the comment section right now. And the question is, well, first let me explain. We got three teams in the West with the exact identical record. The Clippers, the Suns, and the Los Angeles Lakers. They're all 5-2. All three teams are 5-2. So the question I'm asking is, out of the three teams between the Suns, Clippers, and the Lakers, which team is currently the best team in the Western Conference? I want the answers in the comment section right now. I don't want to wait 3 minutes into the video, then you write your opinion. 2 minutes into the video. No. Explain to me, or you don't have to. You could just put a team down, but I prefer you put a team down, Clippers, Suns, whatever it may be, and an explanation as to why you feel they're the best team currently in the NBA. Now, we can get into the video, and I'll give my opinion. So out of the three teams that's left, I'm bugging out. Out of the three teams that have the same record in the Western Conference, they're the top two teams, I think the best team out of the Lakers, Clippers, and the Suns, believe it or not, is currently the Clippers. Now I'm explaining myself, because this is how you know I'm not a hater too, because Paul George is on the Clippers. And I don't rock with Paul George, but I believe they're the best team. So first thing I'm going to say is this. Paul George is on a mission. I think it's evident. I think he's heard all the chatter. He's heard all the talking, the trash talking, the trolling. It's actually hit a nerve. And if you watch Paul George, if you've been watching the Clippers games, he's been going off, no question about it. I would be a hater right now if I was to sit here and disrespect Paul George. He's been killing. I got to give credit where credit is due. That's one thing. I will never take away something from you. But at the same time, I'm going to call out your bullshit. But Paul George has been putting in work. I think the team is actually better than last year, to be honest. I feel like when you look at this team, especially with the addition of Batum, I love the addition of Batum, because Batum right now is in the perfect role that he needs to be in, where he's not a third, he's a fourth or fifth option. He's out there to just do his job. He's an older player now, but the skill set is still there. Batum can hit the three. He could defend from the 1 through 2, 3, 4, whatever. He could defend that. He can hit that corner three, and he rebounds, he plays defense, he does the little things, the intangibles. He's not going to put up 20 points, 30 points in a night. He may have one random night where he had 20 points, but for the most part, it'll be like 10 to 15 points with all the other stuff, the assists, the rebounds, the defensive help. That's what Nicholas Batum's going to do for you. So, was it a loss when they lost Montrezl Harrell? Yeah, Montrez is actually nice. But now this team to me has a little bit more unity. More unity. I'm seeing a lot more like trusting of each other in terms of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac is even playing good. Like, to me, the ball is flowing good. Even though Pat Bev is still their point guard. I think he's a terrible point guard. The ball is still moving properly, and the Clippers and Paul George is on a mission. So to me, they stand out the most. Out of those three teams, they stand out the most as the most efficient number one seed out of those three teams. Now, that can change. We know that already. But let me move on now as to the other two teams. Now, with the Phoenix Suns, I got them at number 2. And why did I put them over the Lakers? The Lakers, to me, this year is a good team, but it's a much different team. And I don't necessarily think they're better than last year, to be honest with you. I'm just being real. When I look at this team, I think they lost toughness. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard brings toughness. They bring energy. They bring youth. They get rebounds. They block shots. They get putbacks. Marc Gasol, Lord help me. No disrespect, but Marc Gasol just is not it right now. I don't see the same thing in his game that he was that once player once ago. Now we know, granted, Marc Gasol is an older guy now. I get it. For me, for this team, Marc Gasol has to come off the bench. To me, he's more serviceable off the bench. I see him getting gassed out and winded a little bit, much faster. And he doesn't protect the paint like a JaVale McGee and a Dwight Howard did last year. Let's be honest. Is this team still good? Of course, it's solid. It's still a top 5 seed. It can still win a championship. But as of right now, to me, they're not the best team in the West. Now, the Suns are creeping. Now, you see, I made a video way back talking about the Suns. I didn't have them in the top 5 seed. I had them like around 8, 7, 6, that part. You know what I'm saying? But that was before they had, what's homeboy that be? Jay Crowder. That was, you know, they didn't have Jay Crowder when I made the video. But at the same time, that doesn't mean Jay Crowder just puts them over the top. But if you watch Chris Paul, got to give credit where credit is due. Chris Paul is balling out. Chris Paul is leading the helms, and he has that team with Devin Booker, of course. Mikal Bridges is playing wonderful, exceptional basketball. There's unity over there. Ayton has stepped his game up. There's unity over there. They're not going to win every game, but this team is actually very good. Now, mind you, if they're gonna be some trades, there's gonna be some mix-ups. Don't get it twisted with the rosters that you see now. I don't think this, for the good teams, I don't think this is the final cut for none of those teams. But going forward, as of today, speaking about the Western Conference and those top 3 teams, I gotta give it to the Clippers. That's just what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing a lot more. They had that 50-point blowout, mind you, but it just doesn't matter to me. The Clippers are playing beautiful basketball. They are defending. They're tall out there, and Paul George is doing what he's supposed to. Paul George is doing what he's supposed to. And Paul George been playing like this last year, we don't even know what would have happened. They would have been playing against the Lakers. We would have got the matchup we were supposed to see. But we didn't get this Paul George. But you see, it's okay. Because the same way you play bad, and I'm going to say something, but the same way you play good, I'm going to say something. I'm going to keep the same energy both ways. But I like this team. The Lakers, to me, are still decent, but I think they need another center. I would go after somebody very energetic because, you see, with a JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, they roam that rim. They stay around it. Marc Gasol is not for the alley-oops and all that. He's not for that. He's going to rebound, but he's not that quick into getting into the paint like he used to. He's very smart. Don't get it twisted. Out of those 3 centers, JaVale McGee, Marc Gasol, Dwight Howard, he's damn near the smartest center, obviously, or one of the smartest centers in the league. His IQ is exceptional. He's there with Jokic in terms of back behind the basket, being able to pass, see the court, hit out the post, still post up. Marc Gasol is a Hall of Famer. He's still elite, exceptional. But to me, he just doesn't have that edge, that energy that I seen with JaVale and Dwight playing with a LeBron James and an AD. Because I think AD still needs his help. He's a great defender, but he still needs his help. He still needs help. And if you look at the point guard, too, let's talk about it. Because we can talk. Let's talk. Schroeder. I love Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, I've loved him his whole career. I like his energy. I like his attack mode. I like that he can miss, go to the rack. I like the way he takes it to the rack. Like, I like his attempts. I like his aggressiveness going to the hole. Like, he sees the game differently in terms of, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your rim protector or whoever it may be. I'm going to the cup. I know how to finish. Oh, I could pass too. Don't get it twisted. I could pass. But I like to stick to the topic. Go back to the comment section. Make sure y'all do what I said y'all was going to do. Hit the like button. Tell me which team out of all 3 teams in the West, who is your #1 team in the Western Conference?